All right. What is up, everybody? This is the American Truck Simulator podcast. Special guest today, Clip Beastwood on the live cam.
Yeah, hello there.
Where you at, man?
Somewhere around St. Louis, going up to Decatur, Illinois, on 44.
You west or east of St. Louis?
Yeah, east to north something.
Oh, so you're not going to see the arch right now?
No.
First time I saw that, man, I was just like dumbfounded. I was like, wow, why is it even there?
Yeah, well, there's some history of Arc of the Midwest, but did you know inside there's an elevator up, so then there's like 10 or 20 windows up top.
I did know that, but I didn't think you were able to go up there anymore.
Not anymore. It's probably 20 or 25 years ago. To death, you can't go up there anymore.
You're cutting out pretty bad. You got bad service? You want to kick it back over to dash cam?
Yeah, see if that helps. Maybe. There we go.
At least it's a pretty day.
Yeah, it is. It's been pretty thunderstorm 2 days ago. Most of the day. Couldn't get away from it.
Nice. You gotta love thunderstorms, man. I got some epic pictures, man, of lightning strikes. Around Morgantown, when I'd come in late at night, and I've got this one image. I'll have to find it sometime. It's just perfect. I did it frame by frame with my dash cam video until I found like this perfect image, and you could just see the bolt like striking down right above the exit of 68.
Yeah.
Exit 1 on 68. It was awesome.
Yeah, anytime you're out west and you can see for literally hundreds of miles,
Oh man,
you'll see 10 different thunderstorms going at the same time. And it's a clear day where you are. Really weird.
Yeah, out west, man, it's real strange. Like when I was down in Texas, I could literally let go of the steering wheel and just the truck would just do its own thing. Like it was crazy, man.
Oh yeah, I've been there. Yeah, I think it takes me 2.5 days at least to get from side to side on Interstate 10, just because it's that big. People don't realize how big it is. It's huge.
Yeah, and one thing that used to crack me up, man, is I would be watching the gas station, way off in the distance down in Texas. And the speed limit would be like 80 miles an hour, which I couldn't go that fast. But, I'd be watching
Not even close.
Yeah, not even close. Yeah, we're, 60, 65, something like that. But I'd be watching for the gas station. And it would slowly be creeping toward me. But then it seemed like, it was like for days. And, it was something funny, man. Something to see, because it would take like 3 to 4 hours to get to a gas station that you could see off in the distance. You'd see the big sign sticking up in the air, and it just seemed like it took that long. It may not have. It may have only took like an hour or something, but it's just a lot further than what you realize.
Yeah, well, just like when you're heading west and you get to see the Rocky Mountains, that will take actual days to see. You'll see the peak of it far, far in the distance. Then 3 days later, you might still be 50 to 100 miles away.
Yeah, it was first time I saw the Rockies, man. I actually had a job at the base of the Rocky Mountains, and it wasn't Boulder. It was just north of Boulder, I think. I may be getting it backwards, but it was in Loveland, Colorado, right at the base of the Rocky Mountains, dude. And it was that year we had a really bad winter.
Yeah.
With those super chill storms that were coming down from like Canada and stuff. And it was negative 40 degrees at the base of the Rocky Mountains, man. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it was bad, man. And I was out running a odorization pump on a pipeline.
Jeez,
we were actually pickling a 16-mile pipeline right there at the base of the Rockies. And it was just gnarly, man. Like, you couldn't shut your car off. I think I had a Chevy Tahoe at the time. It was a rental, and you couldn't shut it off because it wouldn't start back up. The oil would actually gum up in the engine.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was nasty. But,
yeah, through the winter, I was way, way up in Vermont. And it wasn't that cold, but it was definitely low teens or below. And I was talking to the lady, and she was telling me at the guard shack, and she was telling me how she just put in a $50,000 pool. And I was like, oh, so you can swim in it for 3 months out of the year. That's a good idea. And oh, you just hear a noise? I heard some beeps in my headset.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
I was just getting the game ready.
All right. Yeah, so she built a like $30,000-$40,000 pool. I'm like, why? It's like, we can swim in it. I'm like, yeah, for 3 months. She's like, maybe 4. Like, oh, it's 4. Like, all right, as long as it's heated. But I'm like, move. You don't have to be here anymore. You're a adult. It's 17 degrees here. Leave.
Right.
Get your family.
Yeah. I don't know if I could live in a place like that. Montana was pretty bad too, up around Wyoming, Montana. I actually got to go to Yellowstone up there one time.
That's sweet.
When I ran out of hours, me and my boss, we went up through the Grand Teton and spent 2 days in Yellowstone. Man, that was pretty epic. Saw some cool stuff.
Oh, I bet that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I've got a ton of pictures on my Facebook.
Nice.
I went picture happy that day, man, because it's not like every day you get the chance to go to a place like that. And then it's been shut down so many times, with the government shutdowns and all that. You never know when you're going to get the chance to go back. Plus, you never know when it's going to finally erupt and just kill the whole world.
Yeah, oh yeah, soon. That's definitely next on the list.
Right. But
I'll drive by the Grand Canyon, the mountain with the faces. Excuse my ignorance, I forget the name of it. But I'm so close. Yeah. But I might be 20 miles away, but I got somewhere else to be. It's a shame. I get to drive by all those places, but never get to actually go.
Right. All right. I'm going to get this simulator started up.
Yeah.
I got to choose a job.
Oh, by the way, tell me about the game. Like, if you can do different trucks, different sizes, if you have objectives to do.
Yeah, actually, yes. It's actually a game more than it is a simulator. It's a management game, actually. Of course, obviously it has driving involved too, but you can actually own your own trucking company. You can you start out with as a company driver. You save up money, and then you end up, you can get a loan to buy your own truck, which I'm going to do on the episode today. Right now I'm in
a... up, man.
Huh? You're cutting
Buying
up.
your own truck. Oh, is it bad still?
Yeah. Hey, I tell you what, let's switch over and do the phone call thing.
Okay.
And we'll try it that way.
Right
See
on.
if it's a little cleaner.
Yeah. You wanna call me?
Yep.
All right. Cool. Peace.
Peace. All right, guys. One moment here. Give him a phone call. Seems like Zoom's just not wanting to cooperate today.
Hello.
Hey, man. You still there?
Hey. Yeah. You're right. I dropped it 2 out of 5 bars.
That's all good. I think it was just hard on the video thing.
That.
So we'll do it like this. But what I was saying is, you can own your own trucking company, things like that in the game. It's kind of like you work your way up, snowballing effect. You earn money and you just slowly keep building yourself up, earning more and more and more. It just depends on how high you want to go with the game. But on this episode, I'm going to go to like the truck dealership and see what they have available, because I've only played Euro Truck Sim, and you just don't have quite the truck selection that you do in the American Truck Sim, because it's a lot of trucks that you're not used to. Volvo, a lot of people around here don't know. They're not real familiar with Volvo trucks. I mean, even though they are nice, but so we're gonna try to do that today. I'm gonna take it on a quick job just to get back into the game here.
Nice.
So far, I've been
staying
in California, just kind of hauling frac tanks back and forth, because right now they're paying the most at $7,685 a load.
Damn, that is good.
Yeah, so I've just been going back and forth, and it's only about 8,000 pound frac tank. I'll be in a day cab on this truck or this job, and $31.65 a mile. Is that what that says? That's
Wow.
insane. That is not
is
realistic
not
whatsoever.
insane.
I'm here to tell you that right
No.
now. I'm sure you can
Like
agree with that.
$4 or $5, yeah.
Yeah.
My friends who lease their stuff, they get maybe 8 to 10,000 a week, but then they got to throw back 6 of it or so, depending. And they're talking 1 to 2 to maybe $4.50, maybe $5 a mile. Yeah, that is crazy. And I get 54 cents a mile, which is pretty average. It's reasonable. And then they actually take out 8 cents per mile to give me travel allowance. So I'm basically getting tipped out tax-free. And that's anywhere from 100 to 150, something like that a week, basically to live off of tax-free, which is really nice.
Yeah, it's like a per diem.
Which I didn't know at first. So after the first couple of paychecks, I called and I was like, "Hey, why am I only getting paid 47 cents a mile?" So they explained.
They
I'm
had
like,
to
"Oh,
explain
okay.
it to you.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, check this out, man. Right now, I'm going. Let's see. I'm going to take this job. I'm actually going to haul an excavator from Sacramento to Carson City, Nevada. That's 229 miles. That's all I'm going to be
Now, is
hauling.
that real time?
Yeah. No, it's not. The map's scaled down, man.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, I know that might have sounded like a stupid question, but geez.
Yeah.
Not that I'm bad mouthing the game, but I barely want to sit in a chair for 5 straight hours.
Right.
And this is real life.
I got to remember the controls. No, I accidentally just decoupled my trailer. Yeah, let's not do that.
I accidentally did that on GTA. I pressed the wrong button, and just the trailer went flying. I'm like, well, well, not my trailer anymore.
Well, there you can kind of see the load. I just got to remember how to put it in gear. Oh, okay, there's my headlights. There's the map.
Step 1 complete.
Do what?
Step 1 complete. At least you
Step 1 complete.
But speaking about the starting on the bottom with a company truck and then moving your way up to owning a whole truck line. That's what my boss did. He had I think it was a dump truck, garbage truck, something way back in the day, 30, 40 years ago. And then just bought another one, went to something else, and then today he's got a nationwide company with 3 large headquarters. I think about 8,000 trucks.
That's pretty epic, man.
Yeah, dude. And he is still just a down-to-earth dude. Every day at noon, he's in the basketball court throwing elbows, just like anybody else.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. There we go. We're in gear.
Yeah. And you don't dare foul him.
Yeah. Oh, crap. Maybe I should figure out where the heck I'm going first. I'm just doing circles around this construction site because I don't know where the friggin' exit is. Oh, found it.
Yep.
I went right by it.
I've been there.
I just did a complete circle through this tiny little construction site. I'm actually in a Mac, man. I'm in a day cab Mac, man. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone watching, you can see the GPS on that side of the screen. Last time I was covering the GPS on the game, so no one could tell where the heck I was going.
Thanks.
But that way they couldn't tell if I was taking a wrong turn. Man, a lot of traffic on here. I'm cutting off traffic. Stop, van. Let me out. Yeah, you can't do that in real life. I mean, you can. It's probably not going to go well. So, you got any new stories for us since last time we talked to you?
Yeah, actually, as soon as I hung up, I was at the fuel line getting fuel, and then before I even got out, some other guy motioned because he had something to say. And this has never happened, and I'm still pretty unsure of how it happened. But I had oil product out of the top of the tanker in the dome leaking out down the side of my dome tank and then to the ground. So I didn't continue driving after that. I had to call my dispatcher, told him that I had product leaking. Then I also noticed that my seal wasn't there anymore, which freaked me out because I loaded, I closed the dome, and you got to do it like drums where you tighten one side, go to the opposite, go to the opposite,
Mm-hmm.
and then retighten it maybe 3 or 4 times to get all of the 6 of them down tight. I slid the lid over the dome closed. There's a pin that you secure it with, and then I just secured like a plastic seal. So if the pin wasn't there, the lid could have slid and broken it, but I know that I put the pin in there. I drove around the corner to the scale again to get loaded out or weighed out, walked inside, got my paperwork, went back in the truck, and truckers were around. I wasn't in anywhere else that cars would be or anybody else. Like, no one's going to mess with my truck because they're in their own truck getting ready to deliver and such. So I drove 300 some odd straight miles, never got out, was only out of my truck for 4 minutes, and then I got to the fuel line, noticed that my seal wasn't there, the pin was still there, and the lid was the dome was still closed, but everything was unscrewed a little bit. So I thought I was going to have to basically take the product back because it was technically tampered with and possibly not still clean or safe or whatever.
Yeah.
But luckily, the 90 said close it back up, seal it, and write the new seal down. So that took about an hour and a half, and my day clock was counting down. So even though I wasn't driving, I had 3 hours and counting to be able to drive. So I ended up just staying there for the night. Luckily, I was ahead of schedule anyways. But yeah, that was weird. That had never happened before.
Yeah, that's kind of odd.
Yeah, and I don't know. I told him, like, I was up there. I closed the dome. I know the concept of how to get it tight on every single time, doing it 3 times. 3 minutes out of my truck, 300 straight miles. No one touched it. No one was. So luckily, though, I just kept driving. But it was really weird.
Well, at least they still took it.
Yeah. And I don't think, luckily, I don't think it would have been anything coming back on me, except for having to go back and give the product back, dump it out in waste. But a pretty unfortunate event if I would have had to thrown away the product for no reason other than it just happened to be that the seal wasn't there anymore. So that kind of sucked. But that was probably the weirdest thing. But I don't know, man. Days blend in together. I drove through some pretty bad rain the last few days. Nothing to pull over on, but I had to slow down and throw my hazards on. And people were disappearing maybe 100 yards ahead of me in the rain.
Man, I'm having
been seeing a lot of
some truck
sweet
issues
old
here.
cars out though.
Do what?
Been seeing a lot of sweet old cars out.
Oh yeah, man, that was my favorite part. About being on the road.
Caesars doing a Sunday drive.
Yeah.
I actually saw, I think it was a '58 Thunderbird. It was sweet looking. But nothing weird. No monsters or aliens in the middle of the night.
Dang it. That's the good stuff, man.
I know, man. I know. And I've been listening to this horror podcast called Scared to Death by the comedian Dan Cummins and his wife. And I'm not one to watch horror movies. I'd rather laugh or be impressed by what's going on. I'm not trying to piss my pants for entertainment. But I'll listen to a scary movie in my own imagination. So I'm trying to put myself into it. So whenever, like, I am in the dark driving, I'm trying to notice things out of the corner of my eyes, but nothing yet, though. sometimes my cat, which I have a cat on my truck, sometimes her tail will, she'll go in my feet where the pedals are, and I'll push her away quickly, but her tail will scrape my leg,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll freak out for a second, but I've gotten used to it now.
It's like, wow, what is that? Bug.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I did have a wasp come into my truck one time. And then my cat Lucy was trying to bat at it, and I was like, no. Don't do that. So I had to push her down out of the way, get the window down, and try to swat the wasp out of it. A couple of minutes later, I finally got it out, but that was probably the worst thing. Some dude told me he had a bird fly into his cab. That would suck.
Oh, inside the cab?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, let's see, it was like the last
Hilarious to
3
hear about
months
it, but
I
wouldn't
was...
wanna mess with it.
The last 3 months I was driving, I think I hit more birds than I've ever hit in my entire life. And the scariest one...
now.
The scariest one was I had this crow. As soon as you cross the West Virginia line coming out of Pennsylvania, this crow flew right into not my windshield, but the box right above the cab.
Right.
And it scared the crap out of me, man, because it flew right in front of me, like right in front of my face, and then hit the box. And I was just like, wow.
Oh, man.
Freaked me out. But I probably hit like 10 birds.
Yeah. Luckily, I've only come across one deer on the road, and even in training, they said if you have to, hit it.
Yeah.
Maybe not hit a moose, because then you might die too. But if there's a deer or something, do not swerve. Just I always try to aim towards the butt, but luckily I got to slow down and blow the horn, and it got out of my way. But that was the closest. But with the bird, though, it was right before an overpass that I drove under, and I like just as soon as I passed it and I came on the other side, I saw whatever bird top left corner of my windshield, and then it hit the top of my truck. I just saw this dead ball hit the ground. I'm like, yeah, it's dead.
So, you want to tell us a little bit about your personal life? What you mentioned before that you were a drummer.
Personal life. Oh yeah.
And your stand-up
I
comedy.
I'm
interested in that part too.
Oh, me too, man. So let's see. I'm 32. So when I was 12 or 13, my parents noticed that I had been banging on pots and pans in my childhood, so they got me a drum, and then I started 6th grade concert band, and then did that for about 2 years, and then finally got a drum set. I think that was summer of 7th grade, and then I believe it was freshman summer before my sophomore year, got into my first band after doing marching band on snare. Played snare for 6 straight years. Never wanted to do bass drum or the quads. Although I did carry the big bass drum for one morning at band camp, and that sucks, man. It's not heavy; it's just how you gotta hold it.
Did you just say band camp?
Nothing weird happened at band camp. We'll slide over that. But
what happens at band camp stays at band camp.
Yeah, nothing like this one time at band camp, but we did have a lot of fun though.
Yeah.
And then marching band in high school, and then did maybe 30 shows in 3 years with my high school band. One Too Many Heroes was the name of the band, if anybody's around that remembers that. And then went to college, started my next college band, A Shattered Deception. And they were punk, hardcore, metal, rock. But I played in jazz band in high school and always had a soft heart for hip-hop drums, which I'll get to that. Those are my favorite shows to do, hip-hop drums, because it's me, the rapper, the DJ, and then just his crew on stage. So much fun. And then got with this other band, went on tour for about 2 years, and then and this whole time I've been talking back and forth with my dude in Dearborn, which is who I'm with now, always talking back and forth but never played shows with them until about 4 years ago when I moved back from Los Angeles, where I got to tour. I think it was about 3 months, and we went from LA, played South by Southwest in Austin, and then circled back around. That was a lot of fun. Played a smoke shop as the entertainment, and in that day there was a glass blowing demonstration, and if you
What?
ever get a chance to see that, it is magical how they can form
Yeah,
the balls and then
I think here locally we actually have a glass place over on what is that, Sago Road? Am I not mistaken? I'll have to look into that.
Lego.
That would be pretty cool to
Yeah.
see. Yeah, over there where
It's
Quick
amazing.
Studies
I
from.
don't know how they do it. They can swirl the colors, blow the glass, and then keep it as a ball, and then the bowls that used for tobacco use only,
Yeah.
as the sign said.
Yep.
Yep.
We know how that goes.
And then, and then moved back from LA to Morgantown, hung out there for about a year and a half, and then
You lived in
down to
Morgantown?
Tampa. Yeah, dude, I lived in Cleveland, Tampa, and Long Beach, and then I toured the UK for about 3 months, and then I actually went to Florence, Italy for 2 months for culinary. When I was in school, I did 2 months over there for a class for culinary arts, which was a lot of fun.
Nice.
So yeah, this whole time I've been trying to get back to London. Loved it over there.
You gonna start singing that
And
song?
then-
I've been
yeah,
everywhere,
well,
man.
I'm hoping someday someone pays me to go back over there on tour.
That'd be nice.
But if I have to, put in my own money, I'll do it. But oh yeah, one day, man. Hopefully within 5 years, if everything works out in the world. Which I want to talk to you about later, about real life living in this world of coronavirus and shit, where I've already been quarantined for the past 2 years, so nothing's changed much about that.
Yeah.
Only difference is that when I park for the night, I can't walk to a restaurant or really do anything, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I was kind of wondering how that was affecting you on the road, man, because you hear a lot of weird things, especially living here in the small town of Buchanan. You know, we're still somewhat isolated from a lot of the issues.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just kind of curious to what it's like out there, man, when you're going through these bigger cities, and you know, when you have to stop at a truck stop for a night, what you're dealing with.
Yeah. Well, I'll get back to that, but it's really easy. It's honestly not much different. The only difference is that there's less traffic, and I can't go out to eat, really. And that's really all that I have to say about it. I don't know much of going on. I get my news from my granny, and she fills me in. I try not to get too boggled down by the bad, but I still try to be informed enough so that I'm not completely ignorant about it. But honestly, though, I am absolutely fortunate to be doing what I'm doing. I got a very nice job that is definitely one of the essentials in the world, and like, I'm on the road by myself, and I might see 5 people in a day.
Nice.
So really, in the end, not that big of a difference.
Well, go ahead and go back to your traveling story. You lived in Morgantown. Did you ever visit High Street, man?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That
where
was
I
a lot of
used
fun.
to live, pretty
1, 2,
much.
3, nice. Yeah, 123 Pleasant Street. We used to do the open mic there almost every night, and played a show there. But my first open mic as an artist wasn't until I turned 27.
Wow.
Because when I was in high school in Buchanan,
Wasn't much
there was nowhere
opportunity.
to do open mics. Yeah, so we'd always go over to Weston and play a pizza shop. I don't know the pizza shop name unless it was the same as a venue called Buster's, I think. Dope back area, sort of dungeon, concrete-y setup.
I hear
Really
you.
sweet. We did a lot of cool shows there in high school and college, because then I went to college in Fairmont. But after I got back from LA, I had been writing poetry, probably about 4 years. Nothing substantial, but one night I couldn't sleep, so I wrote about it, and then I finished it, and I was like, well, that's interesting. So I kept working on that, and then in Morgantown, where I finally lived somewhere for an extended amount of time without going on tour, we started doing a lot of open mics, so I started doing a poorly done spoken word, but then got a little bit better with that, and then I moved down to Tampa, and then down in Tampa, a lot more opportunities to do spoken word. And then I realized when you're doing a spoken word bit or poetry at a musical open mic night at a bar, no one really cares.
Yeah.
Which is very fair. I didn't hold that against them. So then I started throwing a couple jokes here and there throughout it to try to lighten the mood, and so that they would like me, and then they would maybe enjoy what I was saying instead of just some dumbass kid sharing his feelings on stage. And then I was like, oh, you guys like that? So then I started thinking about all the stupid things I say in life and try to put them up in stand-up form. And then I started doing about 5 minutes of poorly done amateur stand-up, and then doing poetry. I had about a 10 to 12 minute spot, and then really started getting into the stand-up bits, and noticed where I could do spoken word, and then noticed where I could do stand-up better, because it's all about the environment and who's there and if there's a baseball game going on. But I think I recall my first joke that I said was, hey man, I really like your hat. It matches my underwear. And so I would say that to someone who doesn't have a hat on, and I wouldn't, and exactly, just as much laugh as I would say.
You cut out for a second. Yeah. I was waiting on it.
Oh no. Saying this to someone without a hat on, and I would say, hey man, I like your hat. It matches my underwear. My hair is a little different colored and honestly a lot less, but we won't get into that. So that was my first joke, exclaiming that I didn't have underwear on. That's where I started.
That's funny.
Yeah, I hope so. But it's all Mitch Hedberg, real quick one-liners.
I love Mitch Hedberg, man. Like,
dude, me too.
A lot of people don't even know who he is nowadays because, you know.
But if you know, you know.
Yeah, that's it. And he is one of the funniest dudes. He had this way with these one-liners, man. It would just cut straight to your laughter bone, man. It was every time.
Yeah. And it's like he didn't say funny things; he said things in a funny manner.
Yeah, he just.
And that was the most important part that killed it.
My favorite one of his was, you know, they try to get Advil to not be, or people to not be dependent or addicted to Advil, but then they give it a candy coating. And he's like, I love those things.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm gonna put my gloves in my glove box. His skit about using things to its exact purpose, like picking up a crate of forks with a forklift.
Damn, he's so damn literal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll notice myself doing his delivery of accent or whatever.
Yeah.
And which honestly isn't a bad thing to start out doing.
No.
But you definitely got to find your own voice. But then I noticed someone at another open mic down in Tampa, and we were all family. We knew who we were and what we were trying to do, and he had his own jokes to do, and then he also explained that he was going to throw other people's jokes in the middle just to fill time. And that might sound like stealing, but it's an open mic. There was 15 people there. We were all in good company, and it was in that matter, I would think, fine to borrow or to use the jokes to fill time. So that's fine. And like you said, you have to say it like he says it, because what he says isn't that funny. But how he presents it is what makes it the humor that he has. And I knew exactly what joke he was saying. It's just his delivery didn't really make it count, and that made me realize that maybe on paper and in my mind it's hilarious, but if I don't say it in a way to convince the person that I'm telling it to that I know it's funny and this is how I think it's funny. On paper, it might be hilarious and in my mind, but if I don't explain it correctly, then I failed. You didn't fail not getting it. It was my fault for not telling you the way it should be
Right.
delivered. So that was a big lesson that I learned from him.
That's some pretty
But
cool insight
it was
on
a
that.
good.
I've never
Yeah,
thought of it
we
that
were all
way.
in good company. Mhm.
Yeah, the way Mitch
But yeah,
Hedberg used
all
to,
just quick
his
one-liners.
little accent, like just the way he talked, he would just kind of drag his voice out almost.
Yeah.
And you always knew when the punchline was coming, but you never really knew what it was until it was there, you know?
Yeah.
It was
Or
always
even if the
funny.
punchline was the end of it. Yeah.
Yep.
Like one of them is, this CD will be in stores. My first CD won't be. Only way it'll be in stores if I take one in and they'll be like, "Sir, you got this." I said, "No, I did not. That CD is for sale. Please alphabetize it." It's
Yep.
just such a weird cadence that he had. So
Yeah,
I
he
try
did.
to take that and get my own, but always think of him whenever I'm thinking of my jokes. Because if I say more than 3 sentences, then that's too much for me. Because if I don't set the subject, tell you what it's about, and then hit the punchline, my storytelling ability is not very good.
Yeah, it just turns into this drug out mumbling thing. That's my
Yeah,
problem.
exactly. Like
That's what happens to
I've
me.
lost interest in my own self. Yeah. So yeah. So after I figured that out, I started, like I said, splitting the sets at different venues of poetry and open mic, and I still haven't done a comedy open mic.
Oh,
So I'm
really?
trying to put myself in the yeah, I'm trying to put myself in the worst situations so that whenever I do go to a place where people are like, "We are here to hear jokes. Please tell us jokes. There's no TVs on, and we would like to laugh." I feel like I'll be past the hardships of bombing, which I love bombing because you got to bomb to learn the lesson and grow. And I see myself as a comedian's comedian, sort of like Mitch or Norm Macdonald, where if the front row isn't laughing, that's fine. I got my friends in the back cracking up because they know that I'm doing this on purpose.
Hmm.
That kind of deal. It's part of my get rich slow scheme,
Right.
which is another Mitch Hedberg joke. So yeah, one of my favorite times was I went to a biker bar. Now you know what I look like,
Yeah.
and you know what biker bars are like. And I drive a '04 Katana, which is not a biker bar bike. It's a crotch rocket. It's real bright colored. I got lights on it because I'm a child, and bikers were the audience. And I would try out some poetry, and then I'll try out some jokes. But the bartender, she loved me, so
Yeah.
I knew that if I had some in with her, then the bikers that were there would there at least once every 4 or 5 weeks, just to remind them that my name's on the list and they have to let me perform because it's an open mic, and that's how I chose to spend my time up there. But I was doing it more for my humor than theirs. But I met a few people. It's always that one person that is there that'll connect, and that's who you got to concentrate on, not the negative comment on the post or whatever. So people are gonna hate, and I'm trying to get them to hate as much as they can.
Right. Haters gonna hate.
Yeah. Yeah, and potatoes gonna potate.
That's it.
What?
Yeah. It made sense to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Yeah, good. And then about a year and a half or so. Oh, and I had the bike down there in Tampa. I was going one January and February. I did 32 shows in 2 months. So on ratio, it was basically every other night, but that's not how it worked. I would do maybe 2 or 3 shows in one night. I would go to work from 9 to 4, get off, go eat some dinner, take a shower, and then go to my other job from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. and just make a loop on my bike, open up one open mic, midway through another one, and then close out another one somewhere else. and then make it back about 2 a.m. and get back up at 8. I was hustling down there, man, and it was so much fun because I was learning, I was getting better, I was doing what I wanted to do, and definitely making some progress. And riding my bike 3 hours a day, which was always a lot of fun. But then I realized that I was about to turn 30 and I still had roommates and I was slum life in it, so I had to make the decision of what I needed to do with my life in the next 10 years because my 20s were dope. I needed to make sure my 30s were going to be just as cool, and so far so good. So that's when I started trucking with no idea of what I was going to get into, what I was going to like do afterwards, but pretty quickly I figured out that I had a lot of time to think and figure out what I wanted to do next. And then this whole Corona hit, and now everything's sort of on hold, but every new decision of a plan that I made it even better than what I thought was the best idea that I thought I had. So, which brings us up to today, which dealing with the disease. And like I said, there's less traffic. I'm already by myself all day, and I used to be a chef, so I already don't go out to eat anyways. I know how to cook and survive on my own, and
that makes a difference.
Yeah, man. I started trucking 2 years ago, weighing 170 pounds, and I'm now down to 150 pounds.
Wow.
And all I'm doing is sitting on a chair and stretching, and that's it. Obviously not eating crap and eating out of boredom and habit, but I do go through 3 to 5 pieces of gum a day just to keep myself entertained.
Yeah, that's something. I actually used to eat a lot of like Twizzlers whenever I was on the road. I don't know why. It was just I couldn't stop. I was kind of addicted to Twizzlers.
Yeah.
As
Now,
bad
those
as
the
that
kinds
sounds.
that you could bite both ends off and use it as a straw?
Yep.
Nice. All right. I see where you're coming from then.
Yep. I'm making I'm customizing a truck right now
Nice.
to get.
Yeah, and speaking of that, are you able to post those few pictures that I sent you last week of my truck to show you what my truck looks like?
Yeah, I can actually.
Dope. Because you're talking about customizing. On my purple truck, it's got gold decal that is probably not stock, but with the Prime company trucks, they all have basically the same sticker design. Just depends on what color and then the color of the decal.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the running board of my truck, I added in blue lights, and it looks so sweet.
Yeah. Let me see what I can do here to pull them up.
Right on. Well, still talking about the Corona. I'm from a small town anyways, so who I talk to mostly really isn't going through a huge part of it either. But I got friends in LA and Tampa and everywhere else I've lived. But it's mostly, it's just, I'm sure what it is said to be in the news, where if you have an essential job, that's all you're really doing. And if you don't, then you're getting paid more in unemployment checks. So why would you get a job? But it's pretty close to politics and sports, and I don't really get into either of those that much either.
Yeah,
If it's not good news, I don't really discuss it, you know?
Right. Yeah, I was just kind of curious to how it affected you out there.
Mm-hmm. Almost not at all. Although I did do November to May straight through with no break, which I usually do 2.5 to 3 months anyways, but I had a dentist appointment that got pushed back from March to April, and then from April to May. And so from November to March, I was just like, all right, I'll hit these 4 months, take a 4-day vacation, do the dentist, and that'll be my goal of a timeline. And then that got pushed back to a month. So I told my boss, okay, here's my new date, 1 more month, and then I'll take my break. And then I got canceled again, and I told my boss, I was like, look, I'm going into 5 months. I have got to get off the road. And he said to me, yeah, you probably should. It's been 5 months. I don't know why you're still out there. So I still
Really?
only got 4 days in a row because I'm company, and that's no matter how long I do drive, I can only take 4 days off. So then another 2 months went by, and I took another 4 days off. And my next break is mid-October for my cousin's wedding, and then February I'll actually be done working with Prime over the road, and I'll be moving to Knoxville, and I am super duper excited.
Knoxville, what's going on there?
It's warm. It's a B-list major city, and I just love Tennessee in general.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not as expensive and diluted as Nashville would be with music in general. And if we can ever start playing shows, we can always trade shows with Nashville artists in Knoxville. And then when we go into Nashville, we already have a hookup. And it's maybe 3 hours away.
Right. Knoxville, that's on the east side, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I don't know if Nashville is Central Time Zone, but I do know that Knoxville is Eastern. But Memphis for sure is Central. I do know that.
Yeah, I used to go through Knoxville to get to Alabama and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's another thing why I chose Knoxville, besides it's less expensive and it'll be easier to take over the city. But where it's located, you got like
Knock
8
Around
cities.
Boys. You ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it?
Knock Around Guys, I think is the name of the movie. So that reminded me of it when you said that. Easier to take over the city.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it honestly is, because when I was in L.A. and Long Beach, I moved out there already, been in contact with a band. But, man, like, I also moved there when I was 25, so I kind of missed my late childhood, early adulthood to slum life it. So I still had to couch surf, and I never had my own place. Actually, 1 month I did, but then I went back out on tour for 3 months. But, man, is it a very large pool, and you are a tiny, tiny little tadpole.
Yeah. Yeah, I've
and
been
I
there.
barely slept when I was over there. Talking about hustling down in Tampa. For about 2 months, I got up at 4 a.m., went to work from 7 to 2, got on the train from 3 to 4:30, and then practiced from 5 to 8 9, and then 10 o'clock I was finally home, maybe asleep by 11 and back up at 4. Like every single day. But that's what you got to do. And
Yeah.
you do what you got to do.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to put yourself out there, and it's constant, man. Like you've got to.
Yeah.
You've really got to work at it. You can't give up on it. It's not going to come easy, you know. It's a nightmare at times.
Which I might admit that I did give up, but I also gave up on the opportunity of becoming homeless in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to step back and reevaluate what I wanted to do and who I wanted to do it with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's whenever I got in contact with Dearborn. 18, I don't even remember meeting him. I just know that suddenly I'd already known him forever.
Right. All right, so I've actually got a picture of your truck pulled up here.
Oh.
There we go. With its nice lights underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Is that midnight purple?
Oh, man, I wish. It's just blue.
No, the truck.
Oh, the truck? It's purple.
It's
some kind of purple.
Purple.
Oh, yeah.
I got Lucy on here.
Yeah. She hangs out wherever she lays down.
Would you mind giving Lucy's full name for me? Because it just cracks me up.
Yeah, sure. First name Lucy. Last name Fur.
That I have no words to say for that other than that is one of the greatest cat names I've ever heard.
Oh yeah. And if anybody wants to follow her on Instagram.
What? She has her own Instagram.
Yeah, it used to be mine, but I deleted everything and then changed the name to FUR period LUCYFUR. So Lucy.Lucifer. And the bio is it says they call me Fur, Lucy Fur. Like she's James Bond or something. And then right under that it says license to kill ... with cuteness.
That is funny stuff, man.
Yeah. So I'm not trying to get followers, but if it happens, something else to make me laugh at.
That's great.
Because you got to entertain yourself, especially when you're by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But actually, I think about social media and such, being in the industry and the business to need social media, I'm sure you might be able to relate a little to this, and especially being the age that we are. MySpace came out maybe 8th, 9th grade, and then Facebook came out right after that, and when you still had to have a college email address to get signed up for it before just a civilian could sign up, and it was what it is now. So obviously I got into it, but I was never taken away or addicted by it. And I only really ever had it because I knew, because of who I was in the industry and in the business of an artist. But never was I ever personally invested in it. And then about 4 years ago, I really completely stopped using it, even more so than I wasn't before. And then probably a year ago, I deleted everything off of MySpace. Well, MySpace had been taken over anyways, which is still my favorite for music-related purposes. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Friendster, all that stuff. I deleted all of my posts, all of my friends, all of my comments, all of my pictures, every bit of content, but I kept my name so that no one could take it. So I still own it, but it's all empty because I'm not into it. I understand the concept and the reason and the business of it, but personally, I think word of mouth is far superior of promotion than online look at me type of business endeavors.
Right. I can agree with that to an extent. Like for what, the notifications is one of the biggest things for us.
Yeah.
Letting people know when something's happening. But that's a little different than what some people use Instagram for, like throwing filtered pictures of themselves up and being like, look at me, and that, that's not what you look like. That's a lie. You ain't that tall. You're lying. You're wearing heels.
Right. Never seen you in that.
Huh?
Yeah, it's a complete lie.
Yeah.
I'm saying I've never seen that person in heels or with that much makeup or a filter on it. But it's a complete lie. And I also agree with how you disagree to a point with what I'm saying. It's just my own personal opinion on it, which I also disagree with to an extent of what I'm saying myself. But the funniest thing with the word of mouth is two little ways of looking at it. Anytime, like I left Morgantown with my dude that I was playing with, and people know me as that. And then I just left, and they never saw me again. But I kept up with the people that I knew. but the people that only knew me through the band wondered where I was, and my guitarist told him that I had moved away, and then I had started trucking. So, and then myself personally, I don't have anything online, so I can't be found,
Right.
which is another special thing in itself.
Yeah.
So anytime I do roll through, I just pop in, and hopefully there's a show, or there would have been a show last year, or an open mic, or something that I can show up and surprise everybody, and then I disappear again. So I'm trying to keep the legend of myself a mystery of the artist. It's a whole thing. I'm really bored out here, if you can't tell.
Legends never die.
Myself. Well, yeah, but when I was down in Tampa without any sort of contact ability, there was this one lady and her boyfriend, performed poetry as well. It was actually at a spoken word event.
Mm-hmm.
And I did my thing, and I was pretty impressive. And that one dude came up to me afterwards, and he had performed, and he was talking to me. And then his girl came up, and then we were talking, and she brought up the social media contact information. I said, actually, I'm not on any of those sites. And then she said, well, how are you going to make it? Which I thought was a very reasonable question, but also pretty ignorant in itself. Because I said to this lady, you don't know what I'm trying to build.
Mm-hmm.
Opposite of how are you going to make it, you don't know what I'm building. So that's another thing that I'm trying to stay a part of, because I'm not trying to ride the elevator to the top floor of the skyscraper just to fall. I'm trying to build a pyramid so that if I do happen to slip, I got people to keep me up there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in her defense.
Absolutely.
Right, in her defense right now, like, she probably knows no other way. Like, she she probably never had that that whole lifestyle, and just, to her there is no other way,
right.
Because this generation coming up, that's what they're reliant on. That's what they're going to be running from, or running with, and it's scary in a way, but at the same time, we're going to have to stay progressive, I think right now with Corona,
especially,
shutting everything down, where you can't go out, you can't communicate with people like we used to, and you can't put yourself out there even the way we used to. Now it's all, cyber. Everything's online. Like what I'm doing right now, what you're doing. We're online, putting ourselves out there, and this is the best way we can right now.
Yeah, and it is amazing that it is possible in today with the technology of the internet. So it is absolutely amazing and awesome in itself that it is able to happen. But I'm not going to bring up the good old days, but you still got to know how to really, really make an impact is face-to-face, although now technically you can. But
yeah, like, I'm totally with you on that one. There is no better way to make an impact on someone than meeting them face-to-face. I'm not going to get into all this. I'm an energy healer. That's one of the reasons they call me Doc. I'm a very big spiritualist. And I'm a firm believer in empathic abilities, and feeling someone's energy when you meet them. A lot of people call it reading body language. I do that too. You just learn the person just by being within a few feet of them, and Corona has taken that away from us right now.
No doubt. Even over video, you're still not getting that in-person feeling of their energy.
Right. Exactly.
Because they may not live in a hospital unit like you were. You had your background up.
Yeah.
I don't know where you live.
Right. Here, let's pull it back up. There we go. I'm back in it. Mm-hmm. Pull the A-roll up.
Which looked very believable.
It is believable because it's real.
Yeah, where I live.
That's my OR, man. That's where I work. But, yeah. The other day, Frequency, he invaded my OR, and we were playing some Rocket League. Speaking of which, What in
hate
the
that game.
world was the matchmaking when you were here for the All-American Bash? A
Right.
quick study. I'm gonna have to kick him in the butt, man, because giving us the matchmaking he
Yeah.
did, he put me and you
Yeah.
on a team together
I wouldn't even
against.
call us amateurs.
Yeah, yeah,
That would be a slew on the word amateur.
yeah. Like, how many times had you played the game before you even came in that day?
Well, that was the second time that I had a controller in my hand for that game. But I would maybe like an hour or two, maybe. And I would say an hour and a half of that was customizing my own whip.
See, that's what I'm talking about, man. I had actually played it maybe like 2 times before that, maybe 3.
No.
And I knew enough to know how to jump. All right. I didn't even know what the e-brake was, air roll was, none of that other stuff. And they put us
That was
on
my
a
very
team
first question
together.
that day.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't know why. That was my first question. How do I go?
Yeah, exactly. I knew what the gas and the brake was, but then he put us on a team together. Of course we're going to lose. And he makes us the first friggin' match of all things.
Yeah.
Right off the bat against Milkshake, which was he's one of the best goalies I've seen personally playing with it anyway.
Yeah.
You know, puts us against him. I don't know for sure, but I'm going to say he took it easy on us that day. Because he wasn't walking the ball in the goal and everything else. He was actually laid back too. And I can't remember who else was on the team. But quick study, he set that up, and I think he did it as a joke.
The opponents and my teammate, you, were in another room.
Yeah,
So
I was in the
couldn't
studio.
get a game
You know,
plan with you. I was real mad about that.
I think we're going to have to get a rematch one day. And I'll teach you how I'll teach you how to boost, and you can just blow them up, and I'll score for you.
Oh, I'll play some lightsaber game, whatever that's called. Saber beat?
Beat Saber.
Or Beat Saber?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that game's sick. You want to play a drummer to that game? Come at me, bro.
Come at me, bro. Meet me outside. How about that?
Try me.
Right.
Dude, there's a metal cover of that song. It's quality.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have to look that
I'll
up.
have to find it for you and send it to you. But no, I hate that stupid game. So, yeah, I think our scores were maybe 1-6 and then 0-5 for the next one. Halfway through the first game, I gave up trying to play the game, and I started playing hockey rules. Is if I can hit you and blow you up, that's my death count.
That's it.
Or my kill count. That's how I win, which it did help. Maybe. Probably not.
It did, actually. Like, as one good strategy in the game. I've learned a lot since then.
Yeah.
And I've gotten a lot better.
Kamikaze over here.
Huh?
Kamikaze over here.
Yeah. And I did learn that is one strategy, because I've noticed that if I score like 2 to 4 points in a row, someone on the opposing team most generally comes at me and tries to destroy me, sometimes more than once, especially if I'm sitting back in goal. They'll just try to, burn me up.
Which I'm glad that's a rule that can happen. Not like the penalty box or whatever.
Yep.
Like, you're not playing the game right. I'm playing my game right.
Yes.
You don't know.
I'm playing the way that I want to play.
Exactly. And I'm winning.
I'm trying to set up.
So yeah, what kind of customizes can you do to your truck in the game?
Actually, I just bought a truck. It's the only truck I really liked that I had available. I'm still trying to learn the UI here. I keep going to the stupid screen. But I actually got a Peterbilt day cab because I'm only doing short hauls. But it was a Peterbilt dealer, and that's all I could get. So, and it was the cheapest too.
Fair enough.
I had to get a loan and all that crap. We'll see how it goes. I hired a driver just so they could be a company driver and leasing trucks. Everything that I said I would never want to do, I'm doing right now. But it's in the game, so I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, but I can say back to this that stupid rocket game. Uh, keep putting it down. It's a great game, I guess. Not for me though. But I do love racing games.
Oh, me too.
That's my deal. Yeah, Need for Speed. That's my jam right there.
Yeah, my favorite racing game. Man, I don't know. They've changed it a lot since I started playing it and really enjoyed it. But it was the Forza games when they first came out on Xbox. I remember Forza, the very first one. Loved that. And then Forza 2, they set up like a market. Like you could have your own market and everything. And you could sell like decals, custom car decals and everything. And that was really cool for me. And then when Forza 3 came out, I started drifting. All right. Actually, I started doing it in the second one, but it wasn't really set up for that. Like, it was a manipulation of the game. But then in 3, they started letting you do it. And drifting is one of my favorite things in real life. I absolutely love it, man. I used to drift bikes and stuff. And it's just something that's always been in me. So when Forza 3 came out, I was drifting cars on there. Actually had my own drift team, and that was around the time I was streaming on Twitch by myself. And we would do that. We would have every Friday we would have like a drift tournament, and then it was a lot of fun, man. I met a lot of cool people, a lot of real life drifters who played it, just to test setups on cars and things like that, because it's actually pretty realistic.
So cool.
And like Forza was now, what is it? The other Forza game they have now. It's more arcade-ish. I can't think what the name of it is. What is the name of that newer? Oh well, but the regular Forzas are much more simulator-like, and I enjoy them more.
Yeah, more realistic. Yeah, I think it was probably the one that you were talking about, the newest one. They had Ken Block's car, the Mustang, on it.
Yep.
And he had actually played it as well and said it was very real life simulated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I learned a lot by playing those. I'm trying to figure out how to send my driver on a job. And I don't even know how to get back to where I saw my hired driver. Driver manager. Negative ghostwriter. That is not it. Recruitment manager. That is not it. Okay. Well, I know I hired somebody.
Fire him.
Oh, there we go. I got it. Oh, there we go. Assign a truck. Man, I don't want this person driving my truck I just bought. I want them to do the company driver thing. Well, I guess that would make sense, wouldn't it? Drivers 2, trucks 1. Yeah, I'm just going to fire. What is her name? Martina N. Pff, goodbye. I'll drive my own truck. I'm trying to get to where I can run a tanker. Mm-hmm. That way, it's somewhat compared to what you got going on. And I think I did actually just take on a job. I thought I did. Yeah, let me get back out of this. I think I do have a tank on right now, or I have to go pick one up.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I have to bobtail for a while and pick one up because I'm in my own garage right now. If I can figure out how to get out of my own garage here. Yeah, playing a game where you cannot turn your head and see what's around you. That's what bothers me, man.
Yeah.
It's that peripheral.
Yeah, at the end of our training, we had to do the simulation, pretty close to what you're doing, but we were actually in a chair with a wheel and the whole setup. Yeah. And yeah, it was real weird because of the flat screen of it, but we did have 3 screens. We couldn't look out the window or see the surrounding, and it was also before I even knew how to back up and the full picture of what it would look like getting the skill behind me. It is tough.
Yeah.
Really, when you can't get out of your truck.
All right. set
But
my
now
GPS.
you have to look in your rear view. That's how you do. Even in a car, you're supposed to not look around. You're supposed to be able to parallel park with just your mirrors.
Yeah, well, I can't even see my mirrors without like having to turn
Right.
the camera, and that's what I mean. Like being able to look at your mirror. You can't even do that on here.
Yeah.
But I got a new Peterbilt, fully stacked with every customization I could get on it. It's tuxedo black. And I'm probably going to scuff the paint here in a minute. See who I can scuff up against here. Nah. Let's see, I'm in Fresno right now. That's where my home office is. So I'm not even exactly sure where I'm going. I'm just following GPS. I'm pulling one of your moves.
Man, that's just like a social media. That's my only move that I know.
That's funny you said that because holy crap, I'm going clear to Reading. It's almost to the northern state line there, man. But no, when I was playing Rocket League the other day with Frequency and let's see, it was Quick Study, and then who else was it? I can't think of his name right now. I know his real name, but I don't want to put it out there. I can't think of his gamer tag at the moment. But we were playing, and like the only move I know in that game, I call it the booty bump. And it's where you jump up and you flip your car forward and you just hit it with the back of your car. So that's my only move is the booty bump.
Hey, that's 3 more moves than I know.
The booty bump.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a long drive for this game. Oof.
Yeah.
So, how many more hours you got to drive?
I got 99 miles.
Yeah, you
So
still
at
got a
least an
good
hour
part
and
of
a
the day
half more.
left. But I think we're going to take a break right here. I think we're going to end it for today. And because I do not feel like driving this truck sim this far right now. I had no idea that I had to drive this far just to get the tank and then turn around and go sell it somewhere.
Okay, right on. Well, how many viewers we got right now?
Right now we are at 3.
Right on. Well, hello, all of you.
But
Thanks
we
for
will
tuning
be
in.
posting this up on YouTube. I use this as kind of like a just a recording thing right now until we get the viewer count. But then you have some music that you were gonna let us play on the stream and stuff like that, right? You want to mention that?
Yeah, if you can get off of Spotify or Google Play or even on YouTube, there's a playlist of it. It's a few years old, but the band name is Dearborn, one word, like the animal, and then like Jason Bourne's last name.
Well, here, let's pull it up right now.
DER.
It's
Yeah.
I'm allowed to use it, right? You're the owner?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I don't want to, have any copyright issues.
Yeah.
Did you say Bourne like Jason Bourne?
Yeah, Bourne.
Okay, I was just making sure.
All one word. What do you?
Dearborn
searching it
topic 6 videos.
on? Is that off YouTube?
Yeah, this is the search. Wrongs are never right. Lauren.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well into the early morning. Is that the CD?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Do you have a particular song you want us to play? That's on this
First
album.
one until the last one.
First one until the last one. Well, we don't have enough time for that.
Straight through.
We got a few minutes, and then we'll pick them up next time.
What are the titles again?
I've got the search. Wrongs are never right. Lauren, Untitled, California. It said, being a gentleman, my name should be.
I do Untitled, then the search, and then if there's a third one, whichever.
Do what?
Actually, Untitled, Wrongs, then the search. If there's enough time for that.
Okay. Give me just a minute.
Cool. So yeah, hopefully in February I'll be done over the road and then living out in Knoxville, and we'll be re-recording all of them and probably doing 20 plus songs while we're just hanging out waiting to open the curtain if we can ever get out and play some shows. Gonna be a good time. I cannot wait.
Okay, so let's see here. There we are. Got your album cover up.
Cool.
Now, before we get into this, what are we getting into? What type of music is this? What genre would you call it?
No, man. Kind of a mix of Johnny Cash, Bob Dylan, Eddie Vedder, that good, with a storyteller, rock and roll, maybe a little folk, but with drums added onto it. It's an 8-year-old or an 80-year-old will enjoy it. Anywhere from Saturday morning cartoons to Saturday Night Live. No one can hate it. You may not like it, but you're not going to hate it.
Okay, as long as there's nothing controversial in it.
No.
All right, cool. Well, I'm going to go ahead and press play. We'll listen to it. You should be able to hear it back, too.
I must say it was a nice day, or at least it was for a while. The day I got to see you for the first time in a year or two. It was hot outside, but we didn't mind. We drank coffee anyway. We reminisced, I began to miss everything about you. You moved so far away, all the way to California, yeah. If I weren't stupid, I'd ask you to stay. Yeah, that's right, I'd take care of you. We could listen to Kill Hannah records and watch some Shark Week too. You could run your errands all by yourself, unless you wanted me along. When I'm on the road, I'll tell all the girls no, even the model-looking ones. I'll let them know there's this great gal back home. P.S. that great gal is you. Yeah, that's right, I take care of you. Yeah, that's right, I take care of you. I know it might sound crazy, but you know it's the truth. I could go down in history, but I'd rather be stuck with you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's right, I take care of you. I take care of you. Yeah, that's right, I take care of you. Yeah, that's right, I take care of you. I take care of you. Yeah, that's right, I take care of you. I take care of you.
I dig it.
Cool.
I dig that. Yeah,
Thanks.
that's
I don't know if you heard me singing along, but I just realized that I don't know the lyrics to our songs because I don't write them, and I try to make them, like, mess them up during live shows or practices with what I think he sounds like, or what the words that I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have a good time.
Yeah, it's always fun, man. I was never a vocalist at all. I played lead, which we may get into, in the next episode or something. Tell you a little bit of the story of my life on the road. That was about 6 years. It's about all I did, and that was enough for me.
Oh man, 3 years. is going on enough for me.
Yeah,
I'm waiting on February.
I hear you. All right, man. Well,
Not bad. It's a lifestyle you got to commit to.
you really do. What do they call it? Nomad, the nomad lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like Genghis Khan, Genghis Khan. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
man, we're gonna end it up right here, and I appreciate you coming on today. We'll aim for
Oh, yeah,
next
dude,
week
good talking, man.
sometime. You so where are you gonna be next week? Do you know? Is it one of those things that you have no clue?
Yeah, barely know where I'm going to be 3 days. Going up to Decatur, Illinois, then going to Chambersburg, PA. And don't even know what today is, but I'll be there 2 days from now. So you figure that out from that.
Yep. Yeah, I know how that goes. But all right, man.
Yeah,
Well,
no, day by day. I might get a heads up the day before or the day of, but they tell me and I go.
I hear you. Well, thanks for
Yeah.
helping us out there today and jumping on the show.
Yeah, of
And
course.
we'll set something up for
Yeah.
next week, man.
Definitely, man. Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully they enjoyed the song.
Oh yeah, man. We'll definitely be doing some more with that. Tell Lucy Fur that I said hello.
Yeah.
Give her a scratch on the head for me.
Yeah, she's way back in the bed taking a nap.
All right, bro. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah, good talking to you, Doc. I'll talk to you next time.
Yep. All right, guys. So to sum up what we've done with the game here, I just got a loan to get this truck, start the business up and running. Hired a driver. Honestly, couldn't figure out how to put her to work. I think because I was expecting to be able to get her the lease agreement jobs, but I can't. She had to drive the company-owned truck, so I didn't want to do that. I wanted to drive my own truck, and right now we are going to leave this with a job where I had to bobtail all the way to almost to the northern border of California just to pick up a trailer and then deliver it. Oh, I think it was back at Reno. So, I mean, it's going to be a long drive. We'll save that for the next episode. Next time we have Clip on the horn. As always, guys, thanks for watching.